Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Total Freedom Thursdays. My name is Zay Faith, and here in a moment we'll be inviting our co-host, the Van the Connector 11, on. Tonight we're going to be talking about embracing change. And this is a very interesting topic. What's crazy is that saying whenever they say the only thing, let me see, what's the name of that? One thing that is guaranteed is change or something like that. Y'all know the saying. And so it's just interesting because a lot of times we be out here fighting natural law. Like, we know at the end of the day, the only thing that's guaranteed to us is change, but sometimes depending on what it is, we may be a little bit inflexible with the need or the circumstance of change. So embracing change, Devin, where did that come from? What made you want to talk about that this evening?
Hey, babe, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. I'm so good. Yeah, so it came to mind because I saw a message today and I was like, yo, um, it's a great message, so I shared it. But then that message played out throughout the day as
Mm-hmm.
well, so it got even more real. So that's why I wanted to talk about it and really bring it to the forefront. So I went to just read what the message I saw was. So basically, I wrote it down. It was embrace the change and welcome transformation. Hold the vision of the best possible outcome, even in the moments of chaos. Everything is not falling apart, it is falling in place. Feed your mind with positivity and focus on what you wish to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that was the message. So
Mm-hmm.
then I put out a question. It was like, do you feed your mind with positivity and focus on what you want to grow?
Mm-hmm.
So and then because when it comes to embracing change, it goes back to when I was saying how you can't really have a bad day. You can have bad thoughts about the day,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like things can be going on in your external environment, but if you allow that to like, because things are always changing around us, you know what I mean? So it's like, but how are we adapting to those changes?
Mm-hmm.
And is how we are adapting or receiving that information gonna serve us in the moment? Is it gonna help us moving forward, or is it gonna like cause us to be stagnant? Because what even happened to me was like I was like reflecting on like so much change going on around me as like for me it's like I'm always having to adapt, but it's like more things just keep piling up where I have to like now adapt my mind. It's like, okay, I had this plan in mind, but
Mm-hmm.
now this come up, so now I gotta shift my mindset to carve out a new plan or carve out a new path for myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally one of those things where it's like the reality is that the truth of what's going on around me or the truth of what's going on around us, it can either empower you or it can sour you.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, what got to me, but I brought myself back was like I allowed it to sour me for like probably 30 minutes to like 30 minutes to an hour. That's too long for me. I don't know about anyone else, but that's too long for me. But I allowed that. But after I got myself back into the moment, where I was like, yo, you can't. If you want to really operate on this abundance mindset as you have been, and because because mentally as well, because the abundance and that kind of mindset happens mentally, where you can't have a lack or like limitation in your mind. You can't allow that to enter your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and like regardless of what happens, and it's like embrace the ideas that that will help your life move forward instead of embracing the ideas that will cause you to panic or to cause you to feel anxious. Because even one of the posts, um, someone put some stupid comment saying like, "Oh, so what? 9/11 wasn't a bad day."
Yeah.
I was like, "You wasn't even present at 9/11, so how?" So why you like? Why would you even pose something that's not even related to you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because like, everyone's trying to like like push things away from themselves, but it's never about what's out there. It's always about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew someone who was at 9/11, but even though that day was catastrophe, it was actually a good day for him because if he went into that building, he wouldn't have made it alive.
Mm-hmm.
But that day he said, "Oh yeah, I'm like something told him not to go in," and that changed his life for
Mm-hmm.
the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And yeah, so you know what I mean? It's like
I
it's one of
saw,
those things. So,
I saw that post. I mean, I saw that comment as well, and I'm
mhm,
like, I don't understand. First of all, because I get those comments on social media too. Like people, like really, like
yeah,
whenever people are trying to like whenever people are, just trying to, give an example or most of the stuff just about everything we do is intentional and it's you know, positive. But then you always
yeah,
have like these freaking cyber warriors feeling like they gotta try to prove a point for what?
yeah,
Like, if you're not
yeah, exactly.
value, like, what's the point? So I ain't gonna lie, this is a side note. I'm always curious of how I should handle these people because I'm just like, bro, like really like kind of like that one time when I had posted, if we unite, then we could go far, whatever that post was. But it was the picture with the guys holding the thing. Yeah, it was a cartoon, and he's like,
Yeah, I was yeah.
walked across the bridge. Bro, why is you commenting on my stuff? Post your own stuff and comment on your own stuff. But yeah,
Literally, it happened to me. It happened to me like 3 times today. Like
yeah, I
it's
mean,
just
even
crazy.
with that, I mean, of course, like you said, of course, 9/11 was a it was a terrible moment. It definitely was.
Mhm.
Um, it was very, very, very unfortunate, but at the same time, like
Everyone had different personal experiences. You know what
everybody
I mean?
had different personal experiences, and also, um, you know, and not trying to be like this person, but at the end of the day, like time didn't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
definitely, it definitely did suck, but it's just like we weren't talking about no specific catastrophic date. We were just saying in general what
Yeah,
Dan
yeah.
was just saying
And
in general.
and relating to ourselves, you know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right,
the person, yeah,
right. I mean, of course, like bad things
yeah,
happen, but like when you can control it, like out of your personal control, like what are you gonna do? Um, to be ahead of that change, like learning resilience and um learning to control what you can control versus
mhm.
like just being like just some people just I just couldn't like I didn't even I wanted to
Yeah. I
say
had to get
something.
that out. I had to get that out there because
Yeah,
it was like I was like, why are these? Why? Just why?
so well,
I,
since we are talking about embracing change, since we begin, how should we embrace the change? Hey, Stefan.
that no, that's a
How
great
should
idea.
how should
I
we
mean,
embrace the
great question.
change when people are being just silly, like on our posts, like these? Because I guarantee you, they wouldn't be doing all this riffraff in person. Like,
Exactly,
so
exactly.
this is a question of it. How can we embrace the change? Where our content is getting noticed by other people who just want to be cyber warriors. How can we embrace that change? Should we clap back at these
Yeah,
people, or
meet them with constructive feedback in a higher perspective.
so how you gonna
Because again, like for example, I'm gonna respond to him after, but
what
like
you gonna say?
the response would be 9/11. Really? Were you personally present at that day?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what was going through the thoughts of every person on 9/11 at that day? The core of the video that you only took a snippet of relates to people's personal experiences within their day.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question is, did you watch the video? And what did you gain from watching the video?
You talking about
If
the
it,
video with me and you, right?
yeah. So that's what I'm gonna say to that's the question I'm gonna pose to him. You know what I mean? So and I'm gonna leave it there. Hey Stefan, how you doing?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I,
So but in general, like just, I mean, when you see anything that could possibly trigger you, like really just take a step back. You don't even have to approach it straight away, because
Yeah.
like just take a step back, just
Mhm.
look at it, be like,
Mhm. Mhm.
is this response even relevant? Like, just like, you can either delete their comment, or you just leave it and you flood the comments with even more positivity,
Yeah.
because that's what's happening now. People are saying facts now, literally. Like, don't take it literally. So, I know, because like I've had like people, like, they're commenting to override that negativity, and so like in reality now, when you're embracing change, when you're embracing all these things that are coming your way, whenever it seems like there's more a lot of negativity, you have to combat that with positivity. So like, how you got to feed your mind with positivity and only focus on where the growth is taking place, because growth is always the goal in every situation.
Mhm.
So it's like, remember, where attention goes, energy flows.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people put in their energy towards things that is just pointless in the
Yeah.
world, that is just not serving them. So it's like, of course they're gonna be, sometimes people are gonna be operating on that mind,
Mhm.
because people just living accidentally, unconsciously out here, not even intentional. Like,
Right.
everyone's out here walking dead or something. I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
literally, like,
I want. I mean,
yeah,
I know that's not really what we talking about tonight, but like, I just, it flabbergasts me just how people are intentionally trying to be petty, or intentionally like looking to be seen or heard in a not constructive way. Like, bro, create
yeah,
your own content, create
yeah.
your own
Shout out to
content,
my Yaron. Mhm.
create your own content, and put your own message out there, but don't be trying to like, because what you said was a positive message. It was just like, we're not talking about something that was totally out of our control, and was
Yeah, mhm.
definitely, like we said, a catastrophic event. Like, we don't even really talk about political stuff and stuff like that for real. But
Mhm.
but it's like, bro, we didn't have control over that. But it's something like that. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, like,
Embrace.
are you going to take action on that as well? And a lot of the things in terms of like embracing change, to embrace change, there has to be like some sort of actions taking place. So it's like, one of the things, remember, like, we do is that we plan, do review,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like,
But no, but you know what? I really want to play devil's advocate right now. So hypothetical
mhm.
was something. Cause hold on, what did you say in that video? You said there's not a bad day, there's only bad moments.
Yes, I said, yeah. Well, that was like 3 seconds of like the whole minute video,
Yeah, yeah,
literally. But
yeah.
yeah,
And,
it wasn't even the whole video. Yeah,
and his response was, so you're saying 9/11 wasn't a bad day?
yeah. No, that's what he said. Yeah,
So
but it, like, that like, he's commenting on like the first 4 seconds of a 1 minute video.
mhm.
The rest of it wasn't even talking about that.
I think in this
But
moment,
yeah,
I think in my way to embrace change, because I ain't gonna lie, these people be trying to level me up. So I think in this moment, I'm going to decide, and Devin, I want you to hold me accountable.
hmm,
I'm going to decide whenever I see something like that, I'm just going to ignore these people. Because if you're choosing to intentionally be a asshole, I'm going to say it. If
yeah,
you're intentionally choosing to be an asshole, or you intentionally
yeah,
trying to bring negativity and something that is meant to be positive, then I don't even want to interact with your energy or your
hmm,
thought process. Like, I don't even care. Like, I feel like
yeah,
time is
hmm,
too precious. Even like using that, like, we wasn't even talking about 9/11. 9/11 had nothing to do with it. But I'm not about to explain to you why, if like you said, if they didn't feel the liberty to, or the interest to even watch the entire video, I'm not about to spend my precious time to explain to
yeah.
you why it is important to focus on what you can control. Hey, Jimmy, focus on
Hey, is that Jamal? Oh, swear. How you
focus
doing?
on what you can control and make the best out of it, versus just being negative and saying, well,
Hmm,
uh
yeah,
there are such things as bad. I'm gonna prove you wrong, Devin. There are such things as bad days, because 9/11
yeah,
is a bad day, bro.
yeah.
What can you control though? Like, I don't
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's like, it's all about what you can control. It's like, like all these things happen, but it's like, what can you control within you? Like, and because again, there's so much fear, but it just shrivels us up, and it doesn't serve us. But the thing is, we know this as well, but we still allow those moments of chaos to come in instead of really embracing or striving to be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we allow that most people allow themselves to be less than themselves
Mm-hmm.
because what holds us back is not who we are, but it's who we think we are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how are you thinking? And it's like remember like Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is not just about thinking and like now you're wealthy all of a sudden. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a whole way of life in terms of how you approach life and how you become a better person within this life, a better you. You know what I mean? So in terms of like embracing change and like moving forward and like feeding our mind with positivity, there's a few things we can do. Like again, plan, do, review. So it's like brainstorm. What I like to write a lot. Brainstorming, just writing down these things that come to your mind. Like, okay, oh, how can I improve? What should I focus on? What's important now? Like planning stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then what resources can I what books what functions who can I associate with to help with this with this growth and bring more positivity, more abundance, more of what I actually want in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, just like calculated risks, you know, intentional actions, like again, like, and again, some of these things are gonna be uncomfortable, but embracing change is uncomfortable sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it mainly is uncomfortable. Usually, it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like imagine like, I mean, I mean, like even like going through like health transformations, it's like, yo, you become a whole new person, but it's like the process of it is
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I don't want to eat this today. I don't want to drink this today. Stuff like that. I don't want to work out today or what is it? All these other things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's what you have to do to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's always requirements in some regard. So yeah.
I do think that it is super important that we embrace change. Number one, like I said before, change is inevitable. It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But really just honing in and focusing on what we can control in our
Mm-hmm.
personal power. I like also how you said like what you personally do is you don't give yourself a lot of time to dwell and you know what I mean, like to just dwell or whatever. So I do think this is important. I think for me, and ways to embrace change, I know for me, I've been journaling a lot, and so really
Yeah.
just not, number one, not living from ego, but then also like also not playing victim. Sometimes I feel like, you know, or being self-centered. I feel like a lot of times we resist or we push back on change is because we're like,
Yeah.
we're too comfortable and we're like, oh well, this is affecting me in this way, or me, like we're just worried about ourselves versus like, okay, there's a change. Yes, this sucks, and yes, I was in my rhythm, and yes, I was doing my thing, but what can I do now in order
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, instead of just wasting time complaining about it, or, you know, fighting something that I have no absolute control over. So embracing change, yeah. I mean, so I think my approach, like I said, I have my priorities right now. I have my focus, the things that I'm focusing on right now. And if something, i.e., somebody coming in on my post, isn't it in a negative way, isn't it in
Yeah.
alignment with those priorities or those focus, I'm going to literally ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, if something happens, I'm going to look for a solution versus just complaining about it, wasting time complaining about it, wasting energy complaining about it, um or, you know, just fighting it. Like, instead of being counterproductive and finding reasons why it's not going to work, or why it sucks, or why, the opposite. Like if there's change that I can't control, and it just
Mhm.
is what it is, what can I do to stay in a healthy, happy, vibrational energy, and to still get to my goal, my priority, my focus. I think that's the new energy and mindset I'm on right now. That's the new.
Yeah, and but like anyone that's watching, like have a mantra for yourself. You know what I mean? Like for me, sometimes in every of my like my posts, for example, I end most of my posts with like stay empowered. The connection continues,
Mm-hmm.
and I hashtag that because the connection continues means the connection to your greater self, the connection to a better you. That continues. Is an ongoing journey. So like no matter what happens, you still have the opportunity to stay in your power. And knowing that you're naturally gonna develop solutions to in and embrace change in every type of way
Mm-hmm.
and speed up your growth. Because a lot of my personal development journeys has been emotional, like, and that's why I've grown faster than most people, just mentally or whatnot
Mm-hmm.
over the years because I enjoyed it. I embraced those hard things that was going on in my life
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't even say to people, but I enjoyed it and I overcame it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then I seen people that was looking to overcome things, and I share my perspective with them and how I overcame it. And again, then it kept building and building. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like literally, I say everyone have a mantra. Like for example, say, so I'm gonna come over just on the top of my head. So I had say to yourself, I have everything within me,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing can harm me without me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing can hurt me without me.
Hmm.
Let's say to yourself, like, yo, if the fear comes, if you notice, if you realize fear or there's a lack or spirit of lack or just limitations that try to creep up in your mind, say, no. Limitations, fear, that other guy in the back, you are not allowed in my space. You are not allowed in my mental sphere. You're not allowed to enter my mind. This is my mental real estate right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I need some dividends. You know what I'm saying? I don't need someone trying to break down my house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's important because again, change is going to happen. Um, I think really just separating ourselves of saying like this is good and this is bad. This is bad. I think moving forward, I'm just for myself. I know one of my goals is definitely it is to live life, but live life without attachment. And again, out attachments through to things that again that I can't control or um that are like that are going to change, you know what I mean? So like just
mhm,
outside
mhm,
circumstances. So just continue
yeah,
to live and move and do my own thing, but not live from a place of conditions. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
this is just an example. A lot of times we are in relationships on conditional terms.
yeah,
And so that means like if something happens or if that person is going through something or something changes in a relationship, then it is, well, I don't like you as much no more, or because you're doing this
mhm.
or because you are like this. It's all conditional. So I think, in order to,
Lead with love. Mhm,
yeah, I just think, yeah, in order to really embrace change, we have to live
mhm,
life without conditions, especially if
yeah,
I mean, of course, like have standards and whatever, high, for yourself, but don't,
yeah,
don't say, I'm going to do this or I'm committed to this or I'm only happy if you're in a situation that deals with other people or just deal with natural law because we
yeah,
can't control the things that's outside of us, i.e. The whole 9/11 situation. None of us had control over that, but what can we do in this moment? um
exactly.
what can we do in this moment to better set ourselves up, but then also to protect the people who weren't impacted directly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
or what can we do to help the people who lost loved ones in that moment? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
instead of focusing.
Because again, as well, it's funny because people think something is bad only because someone told them it was bad. So now someone that told them it's bad, they only think it's bad.
I,
Doesn't make it, but doesn't
well, but
doesn't-
I am. So how would you describe that event though? See, I mean, I know we stuck on it, but I just
Oh
can't.
yeah, no. Yeah, peace and love to you, Stefan.
I really just can't believe like you
It still baffles me to this day because I'm telling you, man, like,
but my question is like so like how would you describe it? Because you just used that example. You said people only say something's bad because somebody told them.
yeah, but like it's like they're thinking it bad, but they wasn't even there.
Yeah, but it was a catastrophic. Like it wasn't a.
Yeah.
But
But again, it's like when it comes to so it's no, but this comes to okay, so like let's say if there's a person and you don't know them, but because they I don't know if they do this certain thing, all of a sudden you don't like them, but then when you meet them and then you get to know them, it's like, oh wait, this person's kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that specific event. Because I'm just
But
why are you using that analogy with that situation? Like you just said, well, people are only say things are bad.
no, so what I'm
How
getting at is like
that event?
again, it wasn't personal for him,
Yeah, but just in
but
general.
it's like yeah, so what I'm saying, like once you like you have to have that personal experience
Mm,
in order to like yeah you like you you can empathize with a situation,
mm-hmm.
but like don't like it's already happened, so don't be like consumed by that situation that happened.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Don't bring in something that's not even it's not even relevant to you personally. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Whereas like especially when you're receiving a message, don't like take something outside of you and bring it into the equation where if it's not even relevant. So it's like make things, put things in place and hold the vision of stuff that's related to where you are going or where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if people want to like go down that alley of okay, oh, what about what this happened? Well, no, that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened.
I get it
You
too.
know what I mean? So it's like,
You're saying like okay, you're saying like ultimately control what you can control.
yeah,
Ultimately control what you can control, and like instead of like I guess trying to prove people wrong in a negative sense, um
mhm.
how
Because
can
like
you use the message, how can you use the message um to its
yeah,
sense?
how could this apply to myself instead of how could it apply to this situation that I was not in?
Yeah, or this random thing that happened that had nothing
Yeah,
conversation initially. Okay, I got you. All right.
yeah,
Well, ultimately, I mean, yeah, yeah. Change is inevitable. Ultimately,
hmm
change is
indeed, yeah,
inevitable. And the what we can control is what we can control, like what we have the power to do, what we authorize and empower ourselves to do and have control over. But normally, if it's a situation outside of ourselves, um,
hmm
even with people who we are in relations with, you can't control that. So only control what you
yeah.
and do the best you can. But I think ultimately living life without attachment, without um conditions, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
not fair, and it just doesn't.
And like even for people like let's say you don't watch sports or whatnot, there's someone I think like should be studied as well. Kobe Bryant, rest in power to Kobe Bryant. But he had something called his Mamba mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't watch basketball that much, but every time I see him in like different interviews, conversations, like he would talk about like the mentality and like not allowing these outside things to affect him. Like, and he demonstrated that so like amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just a great example of controlling what you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great example of that.
Okay. Do you have any last words on embracing change?
Do I have any last words? Do I have any notes? No, I don't have any notes. No, any last words? Any last words would be, okay, so what do you want from your life? What is your vision for your life? So your vision has to be so, like, your vision has to be so big that no matter whatever comes in your way, no matter what comes in your way that's not in alignment with it, it can't drag down your vision. It shouldn't be able to drag down your vision. If it does, let it be temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be temporary, because what's dragging you down is not for you. But what's for you is at a higher level. Is at a higher perspective. Is at a higher version. Is at a better place, a better outcome than what may be currently experienced in that moment. So take that moment to like remove like what's dragging you down. Like remove the energy, the minds, the thoughts around what's holding back your vision. And don't complain. They're like, yeah, you can complain about it for a bit if you want, but don't complain about it too long. Because I remember, who said it? Remember, it was at the GoPro conference. It was like, focus on 5% of the problem, and then develop 95% of the solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever have a problem, recognize that problem is only 5% of that reality that you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
The other reality is you figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
You solving it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the solution always came before the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's always existed. But it's now with our human default programming, so it's now with these constructs that's been placed on us in society. Now we're not allowing the solutions to just be and exist. So, but we have to bring that back into the present moment. So yeah.
Focus on the solution to embrace change. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So, okay, this was an interesting topic. Every Thursday, Total Freedom Thursdays with myself, Zay Faith, and Devan, the Connector 11. We will see y'all next week.
Take care, everyone.
Change.